My name is Beast806, and welcome to my Sly Cooper reviews as we jump right in with Sly Cooper and the Thievius Racoonus. You start off as Sly as you go on the rooftops of France to steal case files from Miss Carmelita Montoya Fox. More on her later. Sly Cooper is the latest thief in the Cooper line. Sly stole the case files of the Fiendish Five members. These members include Sir Raleigh the Frog, a man who got tired of being pampered so took a life of crime; Mugshot, a guy who was bullied as a kid so he got bulky and took on being a gangster; Miss Ruby, a woman whose only friends while growing up were dead people as she used mojo to revive them; Panda King, a man obsessed with fireworks who decides to use them as demolition; and finally, Clockwork, a robot man bird thing who has hated the Cooper clan for centuries and has lived this long because of his hate and jealousy towards them. The Fiendish Five broke into Sly's house as he was inheriting the Thievius Racoonus, a book that all of the Cooper thieves recorded their skills in. They killed Sly's father and each tore pages out of the Thievius Racoonus. Without a father, Sly ends up in an orphanage, where he meets Murray, the hippo, who loves to eat and is pretty strong, though not in this game, and Bentley, the turtle, who is very smart and is kind of scared of damn near everything. They become best friends and an unbreakable team. As Sly grows older, he decides to take revenge for his father's death and take back what's rightfully his, as him and his gang retrieve the Thievius Racoonus. Sly Cooper in the Thievius Racoonus is a linear 3D platformer. You start at one place and finish at the other side. The only way to finish each level, though, is by collecting the treasure key at the end of the level. There are 7 treasure keys within each chapter. Most of the chapters, minus the last one, have you collect 4 of the keys to unlock something that opens a pathway to the next part of the chapter. Then you will need to collect the final 3 keys to unlock the boss fight. It's kind of repetitive, seeming as how 4 out of the 5 chapters do this, but I'm okay with it. But other than keys, you have 3 other collectibles. You have coins, clue bottles, and horseshoes, or lucky charms as the game calls them, but I'll just stick with horseshoes, okay? Sly is similar to Crash Bandicoot in the sense that once you get hit, you're dead instantly. There's no health bar, nothing, just death. Oh, and you can't swim either. Hooray. So this is where the horseshoes come into play. Basically, there are extra hit points. The maximum number of them you can have at once is 2, which means instead of dying instantly, you get 3 hit points before death. Awesome! You collect them by either finding them somewhere throughout the level or collecting 100 of the coins. Now I know what you're wondering. If I have 2 horseshoes and I collect 100 coins, what happens? Well, if you collect 100 coins after you have 2 horseshoes, you get an extra life. Awesome! They are also found inside levels, extra lives are. However, they are very vacant, which means the game is pretty difficult. I had to play through the game with the most amount of lives being 7. This means you will see the game over screen a lot. The levels, however, are designed very well and look very nice. Even though I consider this the least stealthy of the series, it still has quite a bit of stealth in it. For example, after you beat Miss Ruby, you get a page of the Thievius Racoonus. Well, you get a page after you defeat every boss, but this page gives you the power of invisibility. Awesome, and it gives a ton of stealth gameplay. You move good, and the controls are great. You sure feel very agile playing as you jump and press the circle button to land on points. You jump and press the circle button to grab hooks. You jump and press the circle button to run on rope, etc. Jeez, do you use any other buttons on the controller to do anything other than jump and swing your cane at enemies? What about the triangle button? Oh yeah, that is used for those pointless moves you get when you collect all of the frickin' clue bottles. Oh, that's right, I forgot about them. Each level is littered with green clue bottles. Once you've collected all of them in a level, you can unlock a safe that contains a move that is completely useless, like a roll that does absolutely nothing. It doesn't even injure enemies. Awesome. However, there are some useful ones like the ability to locate bottles and breakable items. And there's also one where whenever you're near coins, they automatically come to you. But these are only for that chapter that you get them in. And half the time, you get them in the last few levels of the chapter. Ugh! But whatever, it doesn't ruin the fun gameplay. However, there are a bunch of mini games as well, and I hate them all. They're a good change of pace, I guess, but I think they are all either boring or annoying. Like the turret missions. Like, God, I want to smash my TV with a few of them. I'm looking at you, Piranha Lake. Other than them, the others aren't that bad, but I find them very boring. Like the racing missions with Murray. I mean, they're so easy, it's just pointless to me. I have to say though, that my one real gripe with that's my one real gripe other than the sheer repetitiveness. Man, I can't talk today. Something I do love, however, is that the enemies are one-hit death as well as you. Eat it. The bosses are good in this game too. They aren't very hard aside from Miss Ruby, and I'm not even going to explain the sheer tediousness of Miss Ruby's boss fight. God, it's fucking stupid. But they are still good. Especially the final boss of Clockwork. It's just fucking awesome. I have to say, I hated all the turret minigames in the game, but shooting Clockwork with a turret while flying a frickin' jetpack while his entire fortress is engulfed in frickin' lava because it's in a volcano and you broke the magnetic pull of it, awesome. And then when you kick his ass with the turret, he falls into the lava and he's trying to live. And then you do platforming while he's burning to death to get to his face and knock it loose from its body, decapitating him. Just gold. But there are no checkpoints, which makes the boss a little annoying. But it's still awesome. There's also some romance in this game with Carmelita, an Interpol agent who is always after Sly, shooting him with her shock pistol. She is Sly's crush, I'll say, and spoiler alert, they kiss in the end. God. I can't say too much on her now though, because she really just develops as the game goes along, as the series goes along. And she doesn't really develop that much in this game alone, because they don't really focus on her at all. It's all about Sly in this game. And you also, sadly, don't use the other characters in your gang. Other than mini games where you don't directly use them, I mean, you just don't. Bentley gives you all the information, and Murray, well, he has some comic relief in between chapters.
Oh, you want one?
And lastly, don't expect to play this game through and want to again. There's absolutely no replay value. The only things to do are replay missions to collect all the bottles that you didn't get the first time, or do time trials. And I could write a book on why I hate time trials at a platformer. Let's just say they frickin' suck. Overall, I think this game is pretty darn good. The definition of a classic platformer brought to you by the PlayStation 2. With a twist of stealth and a pretty damn good story. If I had to rate this game, I would give it a 6 out of 10. With its positives, the bad minigames, repetitiveness, and lack of good replay value bring down its score. I think the score is very deserving of what the game really brings to the table. I'd say it's a pretty damn good game, but it was only a stepping stool to what Sucker Punch really could do. Tune in next time when I review Sly 2 Band of Thieves.